And good hey.
Good evening.
Hey everybody.
That's
That's right.
right.
You don't have your pearls on.
Yes.
We are here. Thank you all for tuning in. We want you to like, share, subscribe to Clutching My Pearls. And what did we say? We had some pearl clutching. Not
We
yet.
got the pearl clutch.
We got some pearl.
Oh, we got some pearl clutch today.
Today we
Yes.
can't wait.
Today.
Uh-huh. So
Put the earring on.
and so you know what?
Yeah.
So let's get started, you all, because
Get there.
I was just saying to Stephanie, I can't believe it's been 1 week, a week ago today.
Girl, it seems like it's been 6 months.
It has.
6 months.
Wish it had been 4 years. Wish it was 4 years so we could be over.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what? I want to say, hey, you ran a great race.
I did. And thank you so much.
You
did. And I just want to say to everybody who supported me, who prayed for me, who voted for me, who walked with me, who believed in me, who supported me, who put a sign in their yard, who let me, whatever, who promoted me. I want to tell you, I thank you with all sincerity, okay? Because it was not an easy battle. But I am proud of the work that I did and the work that I'm going to continue to do. And it's a long run because it was almost a whole year, like from because May's passed in February and now it's November,
Right.
So it was exhausting and my foot is still hurting
Your foot still
from the
hurts.
pole. But I did want to just thank everybody because I felt the support and I felt the opposition. It was real, and
Did
the
it
reality-
involve a pickle racket?
a pickle racket?
Yes. At Hassel Rings? Isn't that what they're called? Pickleball racket?
I don't know what that
Oh.
is.
But I'm sure we're gonna find out. I'm sure we're gonna find out. What, Landon? Because he's looking at us. I mean, you know what? It was a big one. I mean,
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Let me say this. I'm gonna be honest. I would have liked to won, and I ran a higher race, but I'm more so devastated for our vice president. I mean, that just was like it was like a devil. It was like the devil ills. You know what I'm saying? Because
it was.
Well, and for me, it's like that was far away for me, the vice president.
That
You-
was.
Your position on the council would have been an immediate change for me.
That would have been an immediate
And that's what I
change.
was looking for. I could feel that, touch that, taste that, participate in that,
yeah.
like that. So that's the difference. That's what I think keeps me
Well,
going.
Well, let's talk
You know
about
what?
the election.
So wait a minute. I want to say something. I think we need to say congratulations to Beverly.
Congratulations to Miss
Beverly.
Beverly.
Yeah,
I mean,
Beverly.
to Beverly.
Yeah.
Yes, there was people trying to tell us it was no election.
Oh,
on
I
the
know it
third
was
ward,
an
but
election.
there was an election.
And
in the
you
third-
won.
in the
Yes,
third
we did.
ward.
And you
That's
won,
right.
Miss Beverly.
And they tried to stop that election because they knew that it was not going to work out in their favor. And this was detrimental. This was detrimental to the city of Flint, this election, because it was 2 seats up to give them a possible 6 or 5 seat majority for the people.
Yeah.
And when I say them, the people. Okay, it's always about the people. But everybody is not about the people. So, it went how it went. However, even though I didn't win my seat, Miss Beverly Biggs
She
tried
won.
and they tried to
Yeah,
stop that
she won.
election. I think because it's
She
hard
definitely won.
to shenanigan on 2 elections. It's hard to lay the shenanigans down on 2 elections, and when you already had the seat, because we didn't have a balance as far as the ballot to vote ratio went anywhere in Flint, to my understanding.
Okay, I'm not following you.
Like so many people that vote, okay, for whatever reason, if you got, just for example, okay, to keep it in layman's terms, if you have 1,000 votes, you should have 1,000 ballots by way of absentee. And
Oh, you said it didn't match.
You
up?
mean the math ain't mathing?
well, it never
Oh,
does.
see, now that I understand. I
It never
understand.
does.
So,
Can I use the C word? Corruption.
Okay.
Dare I use
Well,
that?
well,
They need to be here
I'm
in
not.
Rico.
You know
know
what?
what?
I'm not going to say that. Let me say this. I'm
I
not
am.
going to say that because at the end of the day, whenever you get in a race, I don't care who you are and how great you are or think you are, you always stand a chance to take an L. I'm not so big that
Right.
I can't accept the fact that
Absolutely.
It's a,
I may have
because
lost.
it is a
Now,
race. It's a race.
am I resting easy with the L? Is it
No.
questionable in my heart?
Nor
Well,
are
we
we.
always got some questions. However,
Well,
I still feel like a winner because when I faced signs being tore up, and different things, and I'm not gonna go back down memory lane because hey, that's over with, and I'm moving on. Because one thing about y'all, well, y'all know, my hustle don't stop.
well,
Okay.
we have some work to do. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So who watched the meeting yesterday?
Oh my God.
Did you
All
all
night
watch that
long.
meeting
All night long.
all night and
And
early
I
in the
was
morning? It was
Early
early
late,
in
I
the,
woke up,
uh-huh.
it was 150, around 150. Then Davina kept on saying, I just want to remind you that the last 146 rounds have been the same response.
No kidding.
Okay. Let me say this.
Don't be Davina.
Let me say.
Watch him.
What you gonna That was
Really?
crazy.
She said that.
That was absolutely. And what I want to know a few things. We do need to have somebody investigate. I know an investigative reporter.
Okay.
I'm gonna call him.
That's
His name is Chip. His name is Chip.
Chip's always in the background. I'm always here.
Yep.
I'm always here.
Chip is here, and I'm gonna have Chip investigate.
Let me tell y'all something.
Investigate what happened with the quorum.
ooh, boom.
Yeah.
They broke the quorum.
They
What?
got-
Broke
what's
the
the
quorum.
name?
What?
Big Dale got mad.
Yeah, Big Dale.
She couldn't call the cops on the people. Can you believe that? They
Because
wouldn't
she got
listen
mad
to
because she couldn't
She
go.
couldn't.
Oh,
I tell you what. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
I don't know if you watching, but shout out to you because you didn't give it.
But I want to say this. It's sad that if you don't let the nonsense roll, then it's like the people are being held hostage. We can't be served unless this certain agenda has its way, and it's so sad.
I don't like.
It's so sad.
I don't like because now we're getting into like communism and fascism with some of the stuff that's going on.
Not getting into it. That's what it's gonna be.
When I can't hold the sign up,
I know.
when I
You can't.
can't,
When people can't clap,
when you can't clap,
when you can't do
when
this.
you can't, when you can't express yourself,
And
you
may
can't
I
do
add-
your First Amendment right.
And may I add that the police are starting to not want to participate in that because they
Anymore.
showed it last night.
What did they show last
They
night?
Well,
did not.
that
move
was not
one
a
person
meeting.
out of there, but nevertheless,
But that was not an actual meeting.
the meeting
Well-
before that, the non-meeting before that, the non-meeting before that meeting last week, they escorted people out, demanded that people leave.
I think
What I
you
think
have to understand too that I think they're taking some heat stuff from the public too because let's be
Yeah.
clear.
And
Yeah,
let's
but it's a different kind of heat now because people
Ah,
people are kind of bucking up and stuff now. Like you got people that's coming in there like, okay, well arrest me now what?
Okay, let me say this because you said that people can't do this and people can't clap and people can't hold us up. Certain people can. Some people can come and
do what
turn
they
that
like.
sucker out. Okay. Some people
Say
can
it
come
again.
and lay
Say it again.
hands on old ladies.
Say it again.
Back
Because
old
they
ladies
don't-
up in the
because
corner
they don't want to
with
respect
old ladies in the walker.
but because they don't want to respect the democratic process. Okay, so now we had an election. You don't want to respect that. So you
There-
call these people
There
in
was
that
an election.
you call these people in that were grieving to attack certain people because you didn't want to see certain people sitting in that seat. The people have a right to decide who they want to represent them. All this hand picking the people who will participate in the process, that's not you all's job to do. And in a minute, we're gonna be experiencing mutiny.
You can't.
Oh.
They got to keep
People
stealing the
talk-
money.
yeah.
So I'm gonna get your comments and I'll go right to you.
Yeah.
Ms. Rogers. because I know you had. I just don't want to get too far behind. We got Melissa Zambrinsky that said, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen."
You didn't get put out this week, girl. Where were you at?
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Melissa Zambrinsky again said, "I did, but I went to bed around 11:30." We got B Marie that says, "Hey, Kathleen King. Hey, beautiful ladies."
Hey, Miss King.
B Marie said,
I know that.
B Marie said, "All we can do is blame the voters who are blind and miseducated voters."
I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah,
Some of them are miseducated because we have a media that feeds them bad information, doesn't tell the truth. And a news, a paper or whatever they are, and a news media that they don't give them good information.
Well, let's
So
be clear.
there are voters that aren't educated
And then,
appropriately on the facts.
and then there are voters that are educated on the facts that choose to believe whatever they want to believe, because we have a lot of people who let their personal shortcomings.
their personal their grievances. That's personal grievances.
Well, not even so much personal grievances though. Personal perceptions of other people
Still looking at
stand
y'all.
in the way of the progress and the business.
Personal insecurity.
Oh, hugely.
How about lining my pockets?
Yeah.
They
How
do
about
that
Well,
too.
that too.
How about you?
It's all of those.
And you're right.
NIE.
I can't wait till Black History
When?
Month. You're probably gonna throw me off this show. I'll probably get put off here.
Well, you know what I
It went
wish.
through you
I wish we
all
had
the
somebody.
time.
I wish we had somebody.
We got company.
Doorbell.
We got
There's someone here.
I hear
Is there
the
someone here?
I was gonna say,
I
get-
hope
See
some-
someone here?
I hope
Is it
somebody
like-
that was at the meeting. That's what I'm hoping it was.
Who is this? Who is that?
Can I greet our guests? May I greet our guests?
Just get down.
You are special.
Do you need
Look,
With my ragged child.
that's oh.
Bring your child. Bring
My
your
good
child. You better get down.
Get back to that side.
So is this the time?
That's somewhere short one, so it's 5 of us.
Over here.
we're cheering.
Nothing over
We're
here.
You got one.
Because who needs one?
You do.
Did you?
Producers. The producer.
Then somebody else here talking.
Oh, you know what? I'm so used to counting big numbers like 346.
Woo! Big number. Big
Why
number.
don't you take this sip? I'm gonna hit the intro again.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
We are cheers. We got to hear
Let me
from
bring it
you.
up.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Welcome.
I'm talking to you, Tommy boy. Okay, look, we are here. We got Councilwoman Burns in the house.
Yes.
And she is hot. What hot? I'm on fire. I'm burning, man. You should be tired.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
And we honor you.
346 bottles of beer on the wall.
If one
300.
should
Oh, you are there.
But you know what? I'm gonna say something. Shout out to the residents of Flint or whoever it was. Cause I looked up one time, I seen aluminum foil, I seen frappe.
I don't know who's in the frappe.
Shrimp a girl a pizza.
They were very encouraging last
Right.
night. And literally the text messages, the inbox and saying, please stay and stand for the people.
Right. And you all did.
And you did.
We did.
Good job.
Good job. Oh.
As the kids say, y'all was standing on business.
Then call
Standing
back.
on business.
And today I should be in an insane asylum. So
Well, you can't go there yet.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna have to prop you up and give you some pills and brush you up and say, "Hey, go on, 'cause you can't go. You can't go yet.
But I do have a question for you.
Okay.
because I watched those council meetings as far as on that day of council meeting. The first one when you all elect officers. Okay, it is always the city clerk.
Yeah.
That leads that meeting.
Initiate.
And the
Yes.
city clerk
Mhm.
stays in control of that meeting until a president is
Is
selected. So what happened?
Yeah,
Oh, the charter.
Yeah,
we're all looking at
you.
that's what I want.
They don't go. The charter is for their convenience. It's like Uno. When they be playing Uno, they use the charter. Then you know how you get when you get the thing that go reverse or go this way or whatever. And they play Uno with the charter.
Oh.
So what does the charter say about
Well,
that?
there's a conflict with the charter in its councilman, the honorable is what you would call
The
him.
honorable.
And he
Oh,
would
wait a minute.
say,
Wait a minute. Let me just show this. This is a charter.
That is looked at all the time. Notes is on
She
there
does
from the
use it
stand.
because the
She's
charter is on.
reading
She
it.
got a paper clip. There's no here.
Several
For
of them.
those
Who don't know what a charter is?
What?
those who have claimed that she does not use the charter or she don't know the charter.
So go ahead.
I have
Wait a
four
minute.
charters.
See,
Look, wait a
let
minute.
me see the
And
wrinkles, see the
she
wrinkles.
big mama. Look, she's
Oh,
got
see that-
two.
that
Those are the council.
highlight.
Oh, these are council
Highlight.
rules.
And-
To the side.
I'm also carrying my open meetings act.
Okay, well,
handbook,
tell us what happened.
So, the charter, and I think there's so the rules do not, in my opinion, they conflict with the charter. Because the charter says specifically that we are to, I think page 26. Organization of the council, page 26. And it states that on page 26, it says within 30 days, section 3-103, days of taking office, the city council shall elect from its members a presiding officer who shall be known as the president of the city council. The president shall be elected to a 1-year term. The city council may elect such
Oh,
other
no.
offices, such committees, and subcommittees as it deems necessary. So when you read what these convenient rules are, and we go to, I think, 3.1. It's dog eared. 3.1. Council president presiding. These rules were there's an Open Meetings Act. So these rules were voted on 4/22/2024. I did not vote on these rules. I did not agree with them because they were in conflict with the Open Meetings Act and the city council.
Okay, and just so we are clear here, the charter is the law.
Correct.
Okay? The charter is the law and the Open Meetings Act is the law. So you can't just get on no board and make up your own rules because you Joe Blow and they done made you El Presidente and you think you're going to override the law. No, at that point, you're breaking the law.
So rule 3.1. Y'all know what I'm saying. That was adopted and these are our rules. As Councilman Mays would say, the goofy rules. It states the council shall have a president and a vice president chosen by a majority of the council members elect for a term which shall end on the second Monday, which was yesterday, in November, and they added or until a successor is elected. So where does the charter come from? It comes from the Home Rule Act,
Mhm.
which is law.
Right.
And so this is in conflict of the
With the
city
law.
charter. Absolutely.
With the
And
law.
so this
Now,
they
we don't-
they
let-
they
let- let- let-
hold on. They
The
write
law.
these rules up to make them work for them, just in case.
Right.
Yes,
And
yes,
this is
absolutely.
non-valid. So
That's right.
their rules is not the law, and they can't supersede
The
the
law.
the state law and the Home Rule Act. So if you're setting up a charter, all city charters in the city of Michigan are set up by the Home Rule Act, and they violated everything. A lot of these rules are just crazy. They're
And
crazy.
punitive.
Yeah,
You think so?
And
yeah,
punitive.
they are. They're against the people.
They're against.
And
Well,
let me-
they are against.
let me
the-
say
wait,
this.
they are against the people.
They're not crazy if you're going for self, if you're trying to overthrow democracy, if you decide that you're going to sidestep.
Can't
The
overthrow
rule.
no democracy.
Well, I'm just
sidestepping
saying, I'm
no
just
rules.
saying what the deal
It's
is.
getting money.
Patrick
Okay.
Jenkins said,
And that's the same thing. You ain't supposed to be getting no money.
Yes,
That's against the law to be getting money. That's breaking the rules.
They ain't even
You
thought
ain't
that.
supposed to be.
They ain't thinking that far.
Let me say
ahead.
this.
Put
Hold
his
on. Let me
finger
say
up.
this. Hold on. Let me say this. The law states, period. The Michigan state law, maybe it's more than the Michigan state law, but I know it is a fact, and I've read the law. You cannot benefit, period, and sit on a board where you are handling local, federal, and state dollars. That is called embezzlement. Something at this point is called the RICO Act.
Yes, well, they do it all the time.
All
Yeah.
right, now look, Patrick Jean said if you can't read the charter, one of these beautiful ladies will be glad to read it for you. Patrick Jean said Liddell and Candace needs to be in jail, sitting next to Candace's daddy.
Ooh.
Clutch.
Yeah, we got to.
Clutch.
I ain't got my
Get find some pearls. Give her the pearl.
I can't put them on.
Ooh, clutch.
And then Kathleen King said those are Neely's goofy rules.
Mm.
And Melissa Zambrinsky said Leon showed himself completely last night.
Oh, yes, he did.
I love it.
Sleep last night.
I
He
love
did
it.
those off.
He did.
That's
At
okay.
344 rounds,
Hey.
and they called him out for it.
Well, let me say this.
Who called them?
I'm gonna say this.
Called
I'm
him
gonna
out
say
for
this.
it.
And I feel like something went on with my signs and everything else, but I'm gonna stand up for my councilman. 340 rounds, I'll be asleep too. Folks got stuff to do. Ain't nothing. Look here now. It ain't gonna happen tonight. Bring you a pillow and blanket, sir, because I'm telling you now.
Like this, though, Carol. Look, he was like this.
See, I feel like he has a partition. So Gladys, who brings the trash can in, and Woodson called them out. They caught him sleeping.
They did.
And then Liddell wanted them thrown out. Then she called Chief Green on the phone.
For what?
Yeah,
To put them out at 300.
I'm a fan.
Don't be interrupting nobody while they getting a nap.
I'm a
That's-
fan.
And
Shout out to Miss Gladys. Because
Nah,
Miss
that
Gladys was
person
giving them all
gets
kind of
it
hell yesterday.
You said who put them out?
They wanted to.
They want no Chief Green. Liddell did stump out and make a call to Chief Green.
I'm sorry.
And
What?
Chief Green, according to what they had stated, wanted him removed at 344 rounds. But she called and woke him up. Let that man sleep.
He tired.
Mm-hmm.
He tired.
Let me tell y'all something. I ain't gonna let y'all be
It's
talking about him.
It's hard working for him to be doing all that. That's what he's doing.
Okay, well,
It's hard work for him to
I
be
gotta ask you a question about this picture. We talked about this 2 weeks ago.
They color
How'd you
coordinate.
feel?
No, she was taking pictures of her.
She was taking a picture of you right there.
Yeah.
You and whatever you had up there.
Well, she-
How you feel with them hovering around you?
But you know, I must say this: God gives us grace, and I believe that I had invisible angels that are kept around me. Because when I decided to go to that, it was really for me saying for the people, I'm not allowing them to get this mixed and bad messaging out. Now, I didn't plan that I had on army fatigue for that day, but it was more.
Subconsciously. You,
And
you
so-
knew you were going into
Let me
bad.
tell you
I did not see
The
when,
good
when you
Lord.
called me and you said, Tanya, did you see what they were? I did not know till you called me and you were laughing. You kept
Well,
laughing.
Councilwoman
And I was on the phone with
Lord
Minister
was
Mary
prepared.
Payne.
He had you ready for battle.
I was ready.
You were ready.
Oh, no.
Melissa Zambrinsky said
Oh,
she was taking pictures. Excuse my language, ladies. She said she was taking pictures of your ass. That was
Lisa, first war.
She called me out for having
Let me tell you, and I ain't gonna let you come down on Lisa either, because I sure was thinking that. Talk about some papers. I'm thinking she did a shot of that ass.
oh my goodness.
My thing is in my
Clutch.
my thing is in we have to remember to start
Melissa.
Melissa.
She coming for you,
Let me say this.
Melissa,
Let me
she
say
coming
this.
for you the next meeting. You might as well get ready. You gonna get put out the food. You walking the door.
Excuse me. Hold on. And I say this, I'm serious. You get your best push-up bra out. You're gonna take one for the city. You go in there with your push-up bra on,
And your
short dress, And you have to come up.
We got,
My cousin over here.
What you gonna tell us?
we got a long one from Mr. AC Dumas. I thought he was in a meeting right now.
Gotta be Charlie.
He said, breaking news. The third ward election will have a primary in February 2025 and the general election in May 2025.
Stop it.
According to the Genesee County Clerk Dominique Clemens,
Yeah.
it will be treated as a special election and not a recall election. You heard it first on Grabbing Your Purse.
You know,
What?
Because
we're gonna let our guests talk.
I just spoke to the county commission.
Okay.
I don't know if I left two
I need my
meetings.
son.
The planning commission and another. I just got a call stating that it will be May and August.
You know what? And that is so
He
wrong.
said because the state
That's
of
wrong.
Michigan will not allow Flint to have an election.
So let me
in
say
May.
this, I think the people have spoken
Oh my
on who they
God.
want. I don't care
Let me
what
tell
the
you
law
something.
is. I don't care what these individuals that have been elected and who are connected. That is not the point. The people have made their
They
choice.
don't want to hear from the people.
I know.
The people are trying to get something. Let me tell y'all something. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. They trying to please themselves, and
Right.
y'all trying to please
Yeah.
the public.
Yeah.
That's the problem that we're having.
Yeah.
Now, anybody who want to act like this ain't abnormal and unusual and all this stuff.
Something's wrong
And
with
then this is what I don't understand.
Mhm.
Say all this stuff that they're doing is legitimate and legal, and they're executing properly. How come you can execute on all this old BS, but you can't execute on them water lines and on this crime and stuff?
Well,
I'm still right there.
Because
with
it's elective execute.
Ooh.
It's selective.
And I think it's important to understand of the points that you've mentioned, and the points that you've mentioned, we all have, is the people have made their decision. They've already made their choice. So governor move over, county clerk move over, mayor move over, and all the city council people that don't like this, move over.
But wait,
You can always
but wait
move.
a minute.
The people have made their decision.
But
They want
aren't
this
these the
beverage.
same people that are stopping us from getting our
Want-
water crisis money?
Want to
Aren't
stop.
these the same people that stopped the ARPA funds to making it to the streets and the
far.
residents?
So
Aren't these the same people that do elections and turn the county in a week and a half
Corruption.
later, when we don't even have, we have some of the lowest voter turnout and some of the longest counts in the history of elections?
corruption.
What in the heezy weezy? You know, like I said, it don't take a
Correct.
rocket.
Well, I want to know what y'all gonna do.
Well, Ms. Taylor, to your point,
What you
Beverly
gonna do?
Biggs did receive 589 votes. Then you have got AC Dumas, who was second with 41 votes
Yes.
below hers.
Right.
We received letters to city council from people for Carrie Nelson, and that was clearly their choice. But what happens to the people's choice?
Right.
So there are legal opinions which are out there that we should be receiving. Can we even appoint right now? And so now they're pushing this point. So it is now at the point that Ms. Biggs, who has obtained additional what we got, attorneys,
Legal.
thank you,
information.
legal, I'm tired. I had 2 hours in legal counsel, thank you.
344 rounds.
That part.
Wow.
Listen, someone who's dedicated to the city,
That's right.
and I did not break quorum. And so she's retained additional counsel. And so hopefully, and so we will have to see, because it's 14 days after the election, I believe, to be certified. There are some things. So I don't like them disenfranchising voters.
That's right.
And then the lies that come out. And if you
Because
look on the
she was out there saying, don't vote. She was telling people downtown that were coming to early vote, don't vote.
Okay, Councilwoman Burns, let me ask you a question, because when Landon went to that picture where they hovered and they were
she was
talking
taking
about
pictures
not
of my phone.
or
Or not
of,
that one.
of something.
It was my phone.
Okay,
Because I had received something from the NAACP.
and she was
right, and I received the phone call
But the thing
about get out the vote.
She's
Well,
ruthless.
why can she? They talked about disenfranchising the third ward, but they disenfranchised the first ward for 30 days and 90 days.
That's
They
right.
just disenfranchised the sixth ward for
That's
30
right,
days.
that's right.
And then somebody said this yesterday. You all heard when what's her name? What did you call her? Petty LaBelle? Petty?
That's somebody else's
Petty
name.
LaBelle. What did you call
Petty
her?
LaBelle.
Oh,
Is
But
it talking
she
about
said
Petty
she
Lydell?
yes. Oh, that's a good one.
Petty Lydell?
Okay, see? Yeah, Petty Lydell. I'm sorry. But when she said she couldn't support Jonathan Jarrett because he broke the charter,
Mhm.
he didn't follow the law when he left the meeting and broke quorum. They break
Broke-
the law all the
broke-
time. What are you
broke-
talking about?
She broke it last night in the
She broke it
charter
with the Mitchell
when
boys
she
and
did not-
got them to walk
she
out.
did not choose to elect. We had a responsibility
Mhm.
to elect a council president, vice president, and of our committees, our chairs of the committee. She actually, the hypocrisy of it all.
Right.
That's right.
And that's what it was.
And that's what it was. And she
Mhm.
was done. But then
Yeah.
she started insulting people
Yeah.
before she left. And that's not leadership. It is clear we need a new leadership
Yep.
in the city council and in the city of Flint. This isn't working. We are 4-4.
Okay, let me say this.
And we
Yeah.
haven't had leadership.
No,
And let me
no,
say
not
this.
good leadership. Bad, yes.
And at this point that you're making concerning the AC Dumas and Miss Beverly Biggs race, that's also their main poll is also the poll that first ward voters were being turned away, telling them that that is not their voting site.
Right.
Okay,
That
so
happened.
that whole
Mhm.
situation was
Corruption.
problematic.
Corruption.
And if that was not a voting site for Miss Bev and them, okay, and if it was not a voting site for the first ward, then why was it even open? Who
Further-
else was voting there?
Further evidence.
Who else was voting
that we
there?
need to get us-
Oh.
that
Okay,
our
so
clerk-
well, I just want because I'm
Just
gonna point out
wanna
some
know
other things,
inquiring
and I'm gonna
minds.
point out some other things because people be. I heard I'm a conspiracy theorist. Look here, I have a day job. I'm not going to be tracking down documents for you. You can look at these meetings and roll it back if you're really interested in facts. Look, I got stuff to do, but I will point it out to you if you really want to know what's going on in your community. Also, they're passing up on the opportunity to receive a new president and officers, which is the same thing happened on the Ethics and Accountability Board.
Mhm.
They just rolled past the day and kept Mr.
Mhm.
King in there, who we all knew was ineffective. So when I say, and also with the school board, when I say these are the same plays that
Oh,
are
yeah.
being ran on our
Mhm.
community by the same players, because you'll notice that all these people that hold these seats have some type of personal connection to these people. But if you want to act like corruption ain't real, and I'm making this up in my mind, well, keep getting robbed in my mind that's empty in your pockets. Just keep it
The
up.
emperor has no clothes on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Let me catch up to these comments real quick. AC Dumas said to your response, the clerk said it was February and May. Something is going on crooked.
Tell him
All the time.
Yeah, tell him
Something
I,
is-
Mr. Dumas, I spoke, well, I don't even know what time it is. I don't wear a watch anymore. My phone is in there. And literally, it was after 5 o'clock. I spoke to the county commissioner and the state board of elections. They have stated they will not allow Flint to have an election in February, that it would have to be in May and then in August. I am not in agreement with that. We still don't know how many precinct 10 voters were out there, how many precinct 10, how many people in precinct 10 that vote. And how does, they should know how many are now. And so that is a conversation, Ms. Dumas, I had within the last, I don't even know what time it is.
So let me say this.
Hold on, that's his next.
In the last 2 hours. So it will be May and August. It'll be the same as they had Jan Marie Arbor and Candace.
And he said many didn't in the 10th precinct didn't vote. Patrick Jean said Davina needs to sorry, I gotta clear my throat again. Davina needs to move over when Miss Beverly Biggs get in that seat. The first person needs to go is Davina and her Timu wigs. Melissa Zambrinsky said yes they did. B. Marie said Petty Liddell with a laughy face. Patrick Jean again said Liddell be on them substances. Always Me said Miss Tanya, such an inspiring woman, does not stand for mess, but always handles it with poise and femininity. Miss Melissa Zambrinsky, that was a nice comment. Melissa Zambrinsky said Said
We just gonna let her go ahead and think that about it. We ain't gonna tell her.
Where you going? Oh, your kids are so nice and polite.
You
And
be
you're
like,
like,
huh?
Look, I got 2 girls.
in public, I guess. So we do appreciate you, you know, with your poise and grace, because that's hard to do
It is.
when you're sitting up there amongst snakes.
Let me tell you something. I ain't even up there and I'll be ready to run.
Right.
Oh,
It's
Yes,
hard. It's hard
yes.
even just her being a friend of mine for as long as she's been my friend
Mhm.
to sit there and see some of the things that are said, some of the personal attacks. Even both of these women have been friends of mine for a long time, and I I see some of the stuff that's going on, and you know you you want to. I get emotional. I get mad. I get
Mhm.
angry. I have snapped.
No.
And I have got her back.
Snapped.
But they make
Recently.
you get pushed.
I think y'all did it together.
but
We came together, we gonna leave.
I was like, oh, well, what was like, dude?
That's right.
But I wanted to say about Mrs. Burns, also as a council person, which I think is important from the public side of it, is whenever they're get them out, put them out, you're always there. You're there with talking to the city attorney, talking to the police chief, trying to explain to these officials that this is inappropriate behavior,
And they don't know the rules.
and they don't know that.
And Dale has her own
because
public safety rules that she's trying to enforce. Literally.
because they're the mules for
Yeah,
someone else.
yeah.
They're
And
carrying the load
they're
for someone
frustrated.
else.
You still have to be my counsel
Well,
person.
wait.
See?
somebody said she's on a power struggle.
Yeah,
That's-
she
and
is.
they,
Well,
and,
it's
and
tough.
yeah.
Struggles the word.
And then
Well, let me say this as far as the police are
Mhm.
concerned. You take an oath to serve and protect
The
the
people.
public, the people. Okay. I feel like when you allow a corrupt person to lead you to do corrupt things, you are one and the same.
Right.
Don't tell me you don't know the rules. You shouldn't be wearing a uniform if you don't know the most basic law, that it is not against any law in the world for me to do this in a meeting. Not here in America. I won't say world,
Or
but not here in America.
And they
Or
should
hold up a
have
sign.
sign.
It's in our Constitution. I have a right to peaceful.
Can I have that sign,
Protest.
Landon?
If they don't have enough sense enough to know that you are violating the Constitution, you are violating my rights as an American, you are violating the public's rights to peaceful protests.
And Carol, I think the other thing that's really important is police don't have to put their hands on anyone. There's nothing going on in those council meetings 99% of the time.
If a police officer puts their hands on you, that means they're supposed to arrest you.
Mhm.
And
And that is what is
But to
supposed to be
interrupt you
done.
to say, one of the things that has happened from the community is we began organically to wrap ourselves around the people that were illegally removed. So that
Well,
the police
that's
don't.
Which is over 60 people.
I was gonna say. Right.
Yeah, like you
That's
are
a lot
in
of
the elite
people.
class. So are you. You're
So-
elite. I didn't know.
She didn't give him a chance to put her out. She talked some smack on Steph. Steph got her designer handbag. No, she didn't even have one because a handbag is small. Steph had her designer
Tote bag.
tote, and she
What you
high
do?
society
Get those
socialite strutted up out of there. She don't care.
Look, she's threatening us
No.
right now.
She twisted on up out of there like Miss Moneybags that she is.
There you go.
John Malley said, will you guys start back again when you return back to council?
We don't know. There are several legal opinions that are out. And so there's the city attorney legal opinions, and then there's my attorney legal opinions that won in court. Thank goodness we got William Kim no more. Those were the worst legal
You know
opinions.
what?
Those were the
Cheers
worst.
to
Please,
and
to
get
where
to
you
be
kept going.
gone. You're
That's
talking about a sorry,
That's
sorry attorney.
Now let me tell you something.
He's the GOAT of worst attorneys ever.
Right.
That man got his law degree off the Cracker Jack box. He
He
ain't follow
did.
no law, no. It's just you know.
He's
and
on
I'm saying this,
Amazon.
this is what I did when you guys were talking about Maze and you were talking about Miss Councilwoman Burns being poised, I do want to say this. When you are constantly fighting corruption every single day, okay? When you are constantly being lied on, falsely accused, set up for failure.
Well, this woman is a prime example.
Well,
of
well, well, wait a minute. But she don't have to do that because even though I started off talking about because the comment was about how poised she is. But I T-rolled it because she's experienced it. I've experienced it. You experienced it. And you ain't even
So
you
what we
have
have
to-
in common?
and
And I was assaulted.
and was assaulted and cursed out by a man. The same man.
Approved of.
Wait a minute. And
Yeah,
this senior was cursed out and everything else
that's
by
right.
the same man who is filing charges against Billy Dansler, but
Right.
has called several
Right.
women out their names and has
Only
assaulted them. Okay, and that is true. He never runs up on a man.
No, he doesn't.
However, he is
Low
being
testosterone.
allowed to bully women at city council meetings and ethics and accountability board meetings. It is ridiculous the level of corruption, simplicity, and pettiness.
Paul Heron.
And then they try to act like it's you. So I wanted to say this while she's poised today, if she continues, and I'm not saying she won't always be like this, because I hope and pray for her peace. I do. And that is one of the reasons why I ran for city council, trying to give her some relief on the city council. See, because I read, well, I don't want to get off track to my original thought. So what I was saying, because I'm sorry, but I want to say, Eric Mays,
Yes.
when you fight corruption, not sometime, every time, when you stand up for what's right and it pay you nothing, it costs you.
That's right.
See, people put their mouth on you because they don't like you, because you proud, because you won't kiss their tail or bow down, or let them treat you like a boy when you a grown man, or let them treat you like a little girl and tell you who you can be friends with, or let them tell you how you can't stand for the right thing and be honest, or they're going to try to make you look derelict and crazy. Label me what you will. You don't have a heaven or hell to put me in, but that is part of the aggravation. That is what make people go off. That is what make people get tired and give up on the community. And that is what these demons and these corrupt, hot pocket, thieving, nasty, palm, stank, breath, demonic, they so soft.
Catching up to our comments, I got Mr. AC said many in the 10th precinct didn't have a right to vote for the 3rd Ward City Council. They were disenfranchised and denied the right to vote. Also, many absentee voters' ballots weren't sent to voters who filed. Patrick Jean said Joe King needs to be down at the nursing home with Mr. Moore eating Jell-O. Eartha Logan said that was. Yep, Miss Eartha Logan.
Go down better.
Eartha Logan said, she said that was crazy the way Liddell has carried herself. Prayers for the entire city of Flint. When you let power overtake you, this is what you get when that power is lost. John Malley says, hold on, I'll get to your comment last, Mr. Malley. Melissa Zambrinsky says 100. AC Dumas says, point of order, I'm glad I'll have a vacation from Flint politics. Also, I didn't spend a lot of money, less than $600. B. Marie says, I wonder why the immature 4 are trying to hold on to power. AC Dumas says, Frida Williams, former member of the Ethics and Accountability Board, passed away.
Yeah.
Kathleen
Matthews ran her off the Ethics and Accountability Board, going in her mailbox illegally. Still to this day, nothing's been done about these people.
Well, nothing
And that's a federal offense. That's a felony to go in somebody's mailbox. Yet you have city council people and this Doug Matthews who has suggested that this lady be hanged. Okay,
They don't care about that.
but let you say boo hoo to them. Let you say boo hoo,
Or do this. Or hold up a sign.
What sign?
Oh,
Yep,
okay, come on.
Kathleen King said to steal the rest of what's left of the
Exactly.
of the ARPA money.
they got
That's
to get
right.
it all.
J Nino Ill said, I don't know why Joe King, even the chair, can't nobody even understand his frog
That's
voice.
right, he's ineffective, and they know it.
And that should be dissolved. That should be dissolved for now.
The chair.
We
Trishelle
can
is
bring
the
that
chair.
back,
He's just
but it
there
shouldn't.
in the way.
and this is the sad
Oh.
thing about that.
Just acting.
It
like
never-
that. Okay.
running
And let
point.
me say this, it never mattered what the ethics and account, because everybody talks about how ineffective they are. If they're ineffective because it doesn't matter what they vote
Right.
for, because you have Mr. King, Trishelle Young, Big Daddy, I should get
Who
some
is
ARPA
Big
funds.
Daddy?
Big
William
Daddy,
Harris, who
Big
mama
Daddy
getting
cut-
all the money
wait a
for
minute,
her.
Big
let me,
Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy, I should get some ARPA funds,
I
because
know
I
you being
passed
so
out
serious.
water for my mama's nonprofit, okay? All this
It's
type
hot
of
in
mess.
here.
So you got a comment from John Malley, Miss Tanya. He said, "What is next, Miss Tanya? What is?"
What's next?
I think that, well, we'll probably have a special meeting. Tomorrow is the State of the City address. And so I don't know if all council.
State of the city sucks. Stay here.
Secret meeting. It'll be a
Oh.
secret meeting.
So, they're gonna have to figure out, we got legal opinions coming in.
Mhm.
I make sure that I get not just, because I don't have a trust in our city attorney.
Right.
And that's not my fault. That's the fault that the city attorney went after me.
Yeah.
And making sure I was able to stay in my council seat.
Mhm.
And now they're worried about if we don't have representation. And I won in court, let me say that. Which
You better
the city
say it
did not
again,
pay.
because
They'll
the
never
city-
report on that.
That's
They'll
just
never
what I was
report
gonna
on
say. They
that.
will not report
Right.
that you won,
I won.
in court. They'll report that they're
Right.
taking you and
Right.
a bunch of lies.
Like they
around
didn't
you.
report I was dropped from that school
Oh,
board.
okay. Well,
So when we talk about what's next, the
Lawsuit.
city has got to, one, we need to have a council that's gonna make
Mhm.
people report. If you got ARPA funds, we need to know what you did with your ARPA funds.
right.
You need to report back to the city.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we start working for the residents, not for themselves and their personal
You want
nonprofit.
accountability.
Accountability has to be there. Respect for the residents. And it's really no joke with literally over 60 plus people who have been thrown out multiple times.
Correct.
That when you say that's a warning, and then if you say, I didn't say anything, that's your second warning.
Yeah.
Officers, I want them removed.
Mhm.
Weaponizing the police in a city that doesn't have trust, that has been poisoned in a pandemic and job loss from the 70s, 80s, and 90s is not what we should have in leadership. And we have terrible leadership.
Yeah.
We have terrible leadership.
We have
I think that how they treat their colleagues and just the residents, they were warning people. Ariel has been in more council meetings than any of us.
Oh,
And he is picked at.
They're going
You're
to, they're straddling a fine line with RL, and they better be careful because they are going
Because the
to
people will
have.
have his back.
They will, and not only
Well,
that,
he's
they're gonna, he's
disability.
disabled.
Disabled.
So
and-
they're
And
gonna-
the
the
people will have
ADA,
his back.
the
You know,
ADA
people
will be
love
on
her.
And the other thing is you can't see all disabilities. So there's
Right.
many people that they've put out that have disabilities and you can't see all.
Mhm, that's true.
And I do want to say this
That's
too,
true.
so you can understand how people position themselves for this type of corruption. Liddell had not been in the Flint area for a whole year.
Correct.
You're supposed to be in a area for a whole year before you're allowed to put your name on the ballot.
Fact.
That did not happen. Look at this chaos that we have now. Okay, look at the major opportunities that the residents have missed because of this thievery of the ARPA funds. It is no coincidence that these people fall in place like they do. And I'm going to say this, and hats off to the councilman who won his race, because he is the councilman now. But he sat on the ARPA commission
And
for the third ward, and now he's representing the first ward. So it seems like
Wait a
we're
minute.
And secret meetings. Those were secret
well, wait a
meetings.
minute, let me
No,
finish.
explain
Well, wait a
that to
minute, let
me
me finish.
again.
So wherever these people need to be to catch that bag, they seem to be on point at all times.
What are you saying?
Well, because when you represent different areas, just like on the city
So
council,
you're saying Leon El Alamin?
to my understanding,
That's your right.
was on the third.
That's
yeah, was
That's
represented.
He was in the third ward.
Okay.
He was up at People's Point, Caesar Point.
Yes, he represented on the
Okay.
ARPA board
oh.
for the third ward, and then turned around and ran in the first ward. Now, if you're supposed to be in any area, and and I'm not going to even go down that road because it is what it is, but I'm just saying, not just him. Like I said, Liddell hadn't been in the area for a year. Now she shouldn't
We
be
like
still,
people who
you should
like
be
people.
voting on president, but that's being stalled. Every time it's time for somebody else to get an opportunity to do the job, they're roadblocked. And these same people seem to come up with the win and the bag. That's no
So-
coincidence.
Well, let me ask.
That's no
Let me say.
coincidence.
Well, I see we're running out of time. Huh? We're
You
almost
have
done.
people- that
Well,
want them in place.
Well,
got
I
people
want
that
to know
them
if you
in
have
place.
anything because you are a special guest. You rang the bell and
Oh,
came,
this is a forum that
and
could go for 5 hours.
it could go. No,
Because there's a lot of topics in Flint
That's right.
and issues,
That's right.
and voters don't. One, you cannot drink the water from the tap. Two, there's no
That's
governmental or elected official trust. Three, what happened to the ARPA funds? We are so behind. Saginaw has outpaced us with roofs, furnaces, windows, home repairs. And so when we look at the residents don't matter. And that's why there's such a rage in city council chambers. So I'm gonna save some space for everybody else.
well, you know what? I just
Thank
wanted
you for
to say
having me.
something, though. I'm looking at this. You know what it reminds me of?
Very amazing.
No, it reminds me of that, but it reminds me of when you see people and they got their Bibles and
Mhm.
it's all
That's
marked
me.
out and
That's me.
here marked. I mean, it just and I'm saying that really as a compliment because it just shows how much
You're
I mean,
studying.
right, that you're looking at this and you're taking it seriously.
Very
And
serious.
I like that. That's all. But it did remind me of a Bible.
Let me
Yes.
hit your comments really quick,
Oh, okay.
just so we can get the rest of these.
Okay.
And William Harris should not be a member of the EAB.
Correct.
Miss Eartha Logan said, my condolences to the entire family of Frida Williams.
Yes.
J. Nino Ewell said, big dude on the on ethics board, and Carrie Nelson want to be Rance Allen so bad. B. Marie said, this what I wanted to, is the building on Clio Road costing the city?
Yes. And so it comes from the drug forfeiture fund, which under your administration, the city made money selling guns. Then they said they weren't selling guns, and it found out they were selling guns in the Ironton, New York program.
Mhm.
So now it is the drug forfeiture. We don't have a gang task force. I'm very clear that money should be used for a gang task force.
Right.
We've had 11 children shot, I think 8 killed in the city of Flint this year.
That's
I
right.
And that's not that is not including the prior years, because I stopped keeping up with it was too
because
much.
it was too much.
It was too much. And so that building, we pay $109,000. There is a new contract though. We didn't get a chance to vote on that. But it was prior $109,000 a year. 3 people were hired. That doesn't include the utilities. And it comes out of the police fund. And we had a child who was shot in their home right across the street at that corner of Canterbury and Clio Road. This was not a 24-hour mini station. You rarely see the police. I think a better use of our funds is to hire more police. Our police are underpaid by many departments, up to $16 less. And so we are not taking care of the people that we expect to take care of us.
Well, if T Green is listening, you're helping him with the safety plan. You hear that, Chief?
You should have called me instead of.
To finish off, AC Dumas said, go back straight to the ombudsperson
Yeah.
officer. Don't need ethics and accountability board. A lot of this mess was put together to get rid of the former councilman Eric Mays. Melissa Zambratsky says, speak the truth, Miss McIntosh. Miss Cheryl said, if Lydell still be president when they returned, and the Fab Four should break quorum number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, and 9. Or 5, 6, 8, and 9, my fault. AC Dumas said the city clerk, Davina Donahue, was supposed to vet all candidates. Eartha Logan said, I was put out for going 3 seconds over. Candace was
She
angry
did by
because of,
Liddell.
yep, she said what I said about Liddell. Candace was angry because of what I said about Liddell and her. I was ready to go to jail. Thanks to Councilwoman Tanya Burns and all of the residents I left. Patrick Jean said Harris eating them plates. His mama fixing. Kathleen King said Deacon AC Dumas. He was vetted by Neely. And last but not least, Jay Ewell said that rent is ridiculous. For that amount, Flint could have bought that building in about 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's
with that,
and that's the
we got
kind of
to
mess
go.
they do.
He said we got 5 seconds.
Could have bought
That's
the
what
whole
you said,
lawn.
5 seconds? We got
Jay Newell was
55
put out, the
seconds,
police were
sorry.
put on him. And he said, they can arrest me, Miss Burns, Councilman Burns, they can arrest me. Because Liddell put the police on him. It was like 9 of them in their tactical gear. So I'm glad he's watching First War.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you. For all,
thank you.
thank you for all the love and support. Like we said, stay tuned. Trust and believe. I'm not going to be up here saying stuff if I don't feel it in my heart. We all love our communities. we know what kind of service she gave us, and it was amazing.
Yes.
And we know what kind of service she gives us. And Stephanie is not even into politics. She just supports all of us, and Miss Liz as well. And these ladies have been targeted. It is a shame when here in America, and this was under Democrats, okay,
I know.
that you could not come to a meeting, and every time you try to
Mhm.
air your grievances,
You are in politics.
that every time you air your grievances, you are targeted.
And volunteer.
It cannot get better for us if we allow that type of behavior.
And Carol, I do want to thank everyone that it's really important to me for the public to pay attention to what politicians are still with the community. They have not abandoned us. They're still working with us. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you, Carol. You're a new one in that club.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And you ran a good race.
You did.
And thank you.
Yeah,
Because
and
that's
you know-
service.
And I made some
That's
promises to some people
Mhm.
in my senior building. They know who
That's
they
right.
are. And I'm still committed to that,
That's right.
period. I'm still
Because when
committed.
you're
We still coming through, we gonna
So, yes, 'cause that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
And-
Come
We
through.
clutch our pearls and we keep moving
And we
and
come
come through
through.
and Burns. I know you're gonna have us clutching our pearls some more,
Yeah.
but we are with you.
And thank
Appreciate
you for
it.
We're
teaching
with
us.
you, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you
and
for having
We're
me.
gonna be praying for you too.
Yeah.
AC
gonna
said
hold
we're
you
we're
up.
all meeting at Tanya's house for Thanksgiving.
And look, tell me with that. Okay,
I'm
thank
not
you for
coming
tuning
over
in.
there.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for
And
tuning
no,
in.
we're gonna have to talk about that offline.
Offline. Why my you ain't up with your glasses on, and we'll see you all in 2
The
weeks.
things like that
Thank you for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
See you
Thank
in
you.
Thanksgiving.
We've been having wingdings
You
with the
too.
snow food on.
Oh, yeah, and we are. We're transitioning over to YouTube.
Yay.
So will that be
Yay.
in 2 weeks?
Yep, next few weeks.
In the next couple of weeks or so?
And I'm
You all
encouraging,
look for her. She's a YouTuber.
I am, and I'm encouraging everybody at home to start wearing your pearls and
Wear
join
your
us.
pearls.
So you
Where
can
your
clutch your
clutch your
pearls
pearls.
for an hour.
Yeah.
Send
Yeah.
that, we got to send those shirts out. We didn't send those shirts out.
Bye-bye.